Morning everybody, welcome back to us here at the storage centre. It's a sad day for us today and got a bit of a disaster on our hands, to be honest with you. We returned back from holiday yesterday and just as I was reversing the caravan into the space here at the storage centre, I managed to tear one of the tyres and cause an immediate flat tyre. So Tom and I are up here today to not only take the wheel off to go and get a new tyre, but also put the spare wheel back on because we need something in place whilst we go and change the tyre. It also is going to give me a good idea to look at the age of the spare tyre. It hasn't been off since we've owned this van, so I'm going to see what the age of it is, and if needed we will go and get a new spare tyre as well. Now when we change the tyre, there's a few things we need to make sure that we go through. We also need to make sure that we get the spare wheel off, and I've noticed a lot of people are still very confused about how to remove the spare wheel, us included. So what we're going to do is we're going to film us getting the spare wheel off and swapping the wheels over as well. Now I already fitted the Kojak jacking system to the caravan some months ago, and there's a video for that already, and I'll link it up here in the top description, and also how to safely jack up the caravan as well. Assume that we're going to jack the caravan up safely, and be aware that we've got the Kojak system in place as well. So the first thing we need to do before we do anything else is we need to get the spare wheel off, and that's going to be a whole heap of fun for us.
I'm not looking forward to it.
No, not me either, no. Tools wise, we've got ourselves a 19mm breaker bar, torque wrench for when we put the wheel back on, swear jar, and we've got some sockets as well, just in case we need those for anything else. I think the most used thing today will be this swear jar. Yeah. I hope we've got a bleeper box for this video. Who knows? Anyway, let's go and have a look at the spare wheel and see how we get it off. Okay guys, so what I'm showing you here is the spare wheel carrier. It's literally right behind the wheel on the passenger side of the caravan. It's directly underneath the door in our configuration here, and as you can see, what we've got here is we've got two big handles, and then we've got a split pin held over a black knob, which is then connected to a threaded bar. Now what happens is you will pull the split pin out and you'll undo the bar, which then allows you to take the whole carrier out using the two handles, and it literally pulls out and drops down to the floor, exposing the spare wheel. Now we've got a couple of problems at the moment, because firstly we need to get the spare wheel carrier out of the way, because we don't have any space to operate the jack where it is at the moment. You'll see the jacking point is right next to the spare wheel carrier, so we need to move it out the way so that we can jack the caravan up. And the second problem we've got is that the caravan is so low because it's got a flat tyre, and because we're on uneven ground, we need to jack the caravan up out of the way so that we can actually pull the spare wheel out from underneath the caravan. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the carrier down, pull it out so it's resting on the floor, jack the caravan up enough so that we can get the spare wheel out, pull the carrier out, remove the tyre, and then continue jacking up the caravan so we can then change the wheel over. Okay, so what's happening now is we've just got the wheel carrier off by pulling it straight out. And what Tom's now doing is he's just putting the jack in place underneath. Meanwhile, I've connected the car, chock to the other side of the caravan, so we're now ready to start jacking the caravan up. Creaking rubber.
Yeah.
Right, so we have lifted the van up. We've also loosened off the nuts, which is what you always do when you're lifting a car or a truck or a trailer or anything. Loosen them up, because once it's up in the air, it's virtually impossible to undo them when it's off the floor. So we've raised the caravan up now, we've used the jack, and we're now ready to pull out the spare wheel carrier. So Tom, if you want to pull him out nice and gently.
Get rid of some of these stones.
Yep. There we go. Oh, you're on the wood here, Tom. You're just on the wood here. Just pushing up against it. Just what's causing you to stop. You can now see the gravel And this is what actually caused our puncture yesterday. Oh my word. That's as far out as it's going to come, isn't it?
Gonna come out.
Okay, so we've got 2 nuts in there, as you can see. One in the centre and one on the side. So let's get on and remove those now. And you've got a 19mm spanner there.
Yeah.
Do you want a little extension bar for that? Off. The tyre is amazing. In fact, we're going to take it down Antiques Roadshow in a couple of weeks because it's a 2009 vintage filled with 2009 air.
Wow, I wonder what it smells like.
Oh, fishy, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You know that used tyre smell?
Yeah, I hate it.
Okay, right, let me show you the condition of this wheel and then you'll understand why we're not going to travel with this tyre on. Okay, so here we go. It's a beautiful condition, as you can see inside here. We've got quite a lot of corrosion here, which means that this is only going to be used to hold the van up whilst we go and get another tyre. The manufacturing date, as you can see here, it says 1509. What that actually means, it was made in week number 15 of 2009. That's where you get your 1509 from. So even if we were to travel anywhere with it, I wouldn't trust this tyre. So one of our tasks is, once we have replaced the main tyre and taken this one back off, we're going to replace this tyre as well with exactly the same one that we've just taken off. Now, frequent visitors to our channel and some of our past videos would have known that I did a video on what's in our caravan toolbox, and you remember I pointed out I don't know why we've got a spare set of these. Well, it was really thankfully pointed out to me by lots of subscribers that these are for the steel wheel on the spare wheel, and that's what we've got here. We've got a steel wheel, so when we take the wheel off we need to take our wheel nuts off that we've got in the caravan here and replace those as well with these when we put the steel wheel on. Now that is really for when you're traveling with it. We're not going to be doing that, but we are going to be using these anyway with the steel wheel, just to show that it all happens together. So what we need to do now is get the flat tyre off and put the steel wheel back on.
What's your problem, man? Ooh, you done did good. Look at that one.
Ooh, I don't do... Crikey. That's a bloody crack, isn't it? Wow. Go me. Right, so all Tom's doing now is just putting the studs in by hand to start with. We've had to move some of the gravel out the way underneath the van because some of the stones were just stopping the tyre going in square. Now you can see that Tom is actually doing up the nuts here by hand, but don't worry, what he's done is as soon as he's tightened all these nuts up, he's going to go around with the breaker bar and just tighten up as tight as he possibly can. When we then drop the caravan, what we're going to do is go around all the nuts again with the torque wrench, and we're going to torque these up to 85 Newton meters so they're on there pretty tight. And down she comes.
That's right, little donkey.
Crikey, he is creaking, isn't he, as he comes down? Is he actually down yet?
Yeah, it's down.
If anyone ever tells you it's easy changing a tyre on a caravan, slap them. It's not. We've done it now. We've got the tyre off. We've got our tyre that we need to now go and get repaired. Well, not repaired, sorry, replaced. We've got it off. We've put the steel wheel back on now. We've lowered everything down, and we're just about now to put the steadies down and sort the van out now, so it's got the security, it's got, you know, it's got everything back onto it, just a case of putting it away. It's not a tricky task to do, but it's not as straightforward as you would think. I mean, it is, you know, the theory is jack the van up, make sure it's safe, undo your wheel nuts, take the wheel off, put the new wheel on. You know, that's the theory, but Maybe it's because of where we are, because we've got gravel all around us, we're on even land, but we just found it incredibly difficult just doing things like getting the spare wheel carrier out, getting the wheel out from the housing, etc. We just found that quite hard. I don't know if that's indicative of a caravan, I'll be honest with you, but we just found that challenging. I've also bankrupted myself as well because of the amount of swears that both Tom and I used up. I'm not going to video us putting it back on again because probably it'd take us less time to just put the tyre on without the camera hovering around, and I hope I've captured enough footage that gives you an idea of of the steps you need to take. I think I might follow this up with a blog post actually of a step-by-step of what you need to do. That's something for me to do. Till the next one, guys, we'll speak to you again soon. Take care now, bye.